The government has said there is a sufficient supply of foodstuffs and consumer products for at least 2 months, despite delays in transport caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Valaxay Lengsavath told the press conference on Monday that the Domestic Trade Department of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce is working with importers to ensure food supplies are adequate during the crisis.
นอกจากนี้บรรดาแผนกอุตสาหกรรมการค้าแขวงและนครหลวงก็ได้เอาใจใส่ลงติดตามกฎกานำบรรดาธุรกิจห้างห้านผู้ประกอบการที่นำเข้าสินค้าอุปโภคบริโภค
Director General of the Domestic Trade Department of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, Valaxay Lengsavath, said at a press conference on Monday that provincial industry and commerce departments and Vientiane authorities are also monitoring the situation at local markets, shopping malls, supermarkets, and mini-marts.
ทางแผนกอุตสาหกรรมและการค้านครหลวงก็ได้สมทบกับรัฐวิสาหกิจและผู้ประกอบการเพื่อกำหนดจุดขายเพิ่มเติมในสินค้าราคาซี่น้ำ
He said in Vientiane, the Vientiane Industry and Commerce Department is partnering with businesses to set up special points of sale for rice, pork, vegetables, and other produce in order to keep prices stable by boosting supplies. With regards to price management and service, the Domestic Trade Department is collaborating with provincial industry and commerce departments and Vientiane in the monitoring of prices in markets twice a day. Vientiane commercial authorities are also partnering with the Central and Inspection Committee and relevant sectors to inspect goods on sale at wholesale and retail markets, shopping malls, supermarkets, mini-marts, and shopping centers. Officials will check that vendors are not arbitrarily raising their prices, hoarding goods, or selling out-of-date products.
เจ้าหน้าที่ของพวกเขาก็ยังได้อธิบายแนะนำให้แก่บรรดาตลาดห้างห้านเอาใจใส่ในการปฏิบัติมาตรการป้องกันการแพร่ระบาด
At the same time, authorities are advising vendors and shoppers about the risks posed by COVID-19 and how to protect themselves against the virus by complying with the measures laid down by the National Task Force on COVID-19 Prevention and Control.
มีการลักขายสินค้าที่ในราคาแพงและมีการกักตุนสินค้า
According to the Director General of the Domestic Trade Department of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, Valaxay Lengsavath, following inspections, it has been determined that markets are able to supply sufficient quantities of goods and prices remain stable. He said some products are in short supply due to difficulties with transport or movement from warehouses to point of sales, but this is not a serious concern. Shortages have led to a rise in price of some popular and essential items in some provinces, but prices return to normal when these goods are once again in plentiful supply. In Vientiane, authorities have issued warnings and fined some traders who have taken advantage of fluctuations in supply and demand to raise their prices.
นอกจากนี้บรรดาแผนกธุรกิจผู้ประกอบการโดยเฉพาะผู้ที่นำเข้าสินค้าเครื่องอุปโภคบริโภคและสินค้าใช้สอยที่จำเป็น
He said the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, in cooperation with the relevant sectors and provincial industry and commerce departments, is aiming to ensure that imports continue unimpeded so that sufficient goods are available in shops and markets during the pandemic. This will prevent vendors hiking their prices. Valaxay Lengsavath called on traders and vendors not to raise their prices, not to hoard goods, and not to sell poor quality items during the crisis so that shoppers are